He got one of those calls. It's Joe Watt. His mother's died. It was on Sunday morning, 2:30 a.m. Says your mom's died. You need to come. This is the time short. And I want to ask you what he didn't say. I want to tell you what he didn't say. He didn't say, you know what? After the service, I'll be sure to get in my car and drive 400 miles to get there. You think that's what he said? He said, no. He said, within a half hour, he was dressed, packed, had stuff to go, and he was out the door, driving 420 miles to his mother in Missouri. I want to tell you, I think God cared more about him trying to reach his dying mother than him preaching a sermon. That's the way it is. Okay? He would not hold me up to a higher standard than you would do yourself. Something would happen, I'd be there. That's how much you know. God cares much more about that. Do you understand the law here? We're wrapped up in our traditions, right? I mean, the projector went out here for a couple songs, Did anybody freak out? We're all like, start doing the solid rubbernecking thing going on. Like, what? Everyone's like, next turn to rubber, looking back at what's going on. But we kept singing. We knew the words. We had exercised our brains a little bit more. There wasn't a screen in front of it for once. Okay? We're not slaves to the law, to the rigidity of things. Human need is greater than the law. And this is the good news this morning. I want to hear you. There is someone greater than the law. There's a comic strip. You guys remember the comic strip Peanuts with Charlie Brown? This little girl comes up to Charlie Brown. She says, "Yes, sir, Charlie Brown. Abraham Lincoln was a great man, Charlie Brown. Would you like to be Abraham Lincoln? Would you like to have met him?" Well, Charlie Brown said, "I don't think so. I'm having a hard enough time trying to be plain old Charlie Brown." And it's true for many of us. We have a difficult enough time for being who we are without trying to be someone else that may be far greater. Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery. That's a historical fact. The Emancipation Proclamation was a presidential order in 1863 that proclaimed that slaves were free in the Confederate state of America. It was not a law passed by Congress, but it was a proclamation written by the president who was given the powers to do that under the Constitution. Lincoln was greater than the law when he abolished slavery. Because the law on the books was, hey, slavery is all right. And as great as Abe Lincoln was in the eyes of many, there's somebody who is greater. Some people today think they're greater than the law, but there's one person who is greater than the law, and that's the giver of the law. Matthew 12, now go back to verse 7 and 8 here, Matthew 12. Jesus says, "But if you had known what this means, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath." He's talking about himself. He's the Son of Man. Okay? Jesus is the Lord of Sabbath, and He's Lord of all. And He desires that we demonstrate love, not being perfect. I'm going to say that again. God is much more concerned with you demonstrating love than being perfect. God is much more interested in you demonstrating love than being perfect. Get over yourself. He wants love. He wants love. Love in our house always speaks a lot more than rules. It does. It just does. Okay? Rules are important. Laws are important. Love goes far. Always does. There's an old guy who was caught speeding by a radar from a police helicopter from the sky. And the officer pulled him over and he began to issue out this traffic ticket, And the guy was like, how'd you know I was speeding? He was frustrated. How'd you know I was speeding? And the police officer pointed somberly up towards the sky. He says, "You mean," he says, "that he's even against me?" Brothers and sisters, there is someone greater than the law itself, and He is not against us. He is for us. Every day I have the honor of sitting down with a book that contains the words of the one true God, and the one who's created me and you. And every day I have the opportunity to let Him give me a thought or two on how to live. How can I be helped today by this man? Because if I don't listen, and if I don't do what He says, you know what the thing is? It's kind of funny. Lightning doesn't come and strike me. He doesn't burn my house. He doesn't cancel my subscriptions. If I disagree with God, He doesn't stand it. Amen. They, like you, found their names on God's list. I could go on. Samson, Moses. You could go on. People that do it. Big time. God's love went beyond. So is there limits to God's love? There should never be a limit to our love, because there's never a limit to His. You really got to try to push our limits of what our love is. Love does the most good in this world. Love goes beyond religions. Stop. Where legalism stops. Love gives, it demonstrates mercy, it upholds, it constructs, it builds, it encourages, it endures, it blesses. You know, I think of this thing with Las Vegas, and I think of the police officers. And there's a story about an off-duty police officer. He wasn't on duty, Tom McGrath, who had quit his time in my life because from the moment I got hit, he was the first one to actually help me stop the bleeder. Smith told Burnett. He remembers telling McGrath that he didn't want to die, but the officer reassured him that it'd be okay. He says he never left my side at all. That officer that saved him was off duty. He didn't have a badge on. He didn't have his uniform. He was above it. He went beyond the law. He went beyond what was required of him. Jesus goes beyond what was required of him. We're bleeding out from sin, the wounds that we have in our lives from sin. And Jesus put His nail-pierced hands into our wounds to stop it. Amen. He went beyond the law for me. The love is greater than the law. Amen. He went beyond what was required. I want to close by just saying this one verse, Ephesians 5. Be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. Live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what changes the world. The world's not used to it. The world wants to see that. The world is dying for it. So go. Live above the law. Amen? Amen. Let's stand and sing together. Number 43.
It's my dream,
been faithful to you. Love, who loves of love, you know, that you know you're capable of. God's going to meet you there and help you with that this week. Amen? God bless.
Hey, Dad.